2 connected 14 times for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was also tackled at the 1 a couple of times, so it could have been more. The Texans had over 50 at home. And on the Move the Sticks podcast, Watson's coach back from his unpaid days, Dabo Swinney, looking back on Deshaun.
He graduated in 2.5 years. All right. You can watch all the tape you want. He beat them all, the best of the best. Oh, by the way, went down the field against Alabama with 2 minutes. Nobody does that to win a national championship. But it's his preparation. It's his focus. Graduated in 2.5 years. And he's just one of those guys. He's so busy being great, he doesn't get distracted. And he's an unbelievable teammate. High character, and just, and he has a skill set that's unique because he can make every throw, but sometimes he makes it look effortless.
And on the other side this week, you got to feel like the injury to Patrick Mahomes' ankle played a big role in the team's first loss of the season to the Colts on Sunday Night Football. That's for us to worry about. Andy Reid is just worried about the rest of his offense.
We're shooting ourselves in the foot. And like I told the guys, you figure it out now. We get this thing straightened out, and you're right. You're powerful, explosive offense. Whoever's in there, but you can't go backwards. You can't have the turnover. You can't have penalties like we're having them. I mean, that's ridiculous. So we're way better than that, and we've got to take care of it and fix that.
Let's get you what's new right now here from the NFL Network newsroom. We start with the Giants playing the Patriots on Thursday Night Football tomorrow. Saquon Barkley ruled out. He will not travel with the team. He is still recovering from that high ankle sprain. Also out is backup Wayne Gallman Jr., as well as tight end Evan Ingram. Case Keenum is expected to start for Washington against the Dolphins coming up on Sunday. Interim head coach Bill Callahan making the move to go with Keenum. Colt McCoy back to the bench. Let's bring in NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport to discuss that. Probably the biggest Colt McCoy supporter other than mom and dad. Jay Gruden no longer on the team. So Bill Callahan makes the switch. Is it that simple?
It might not be that simple, but no doubt that is a big part of it with Bill Callahan coming in, the interim coach, kind of putting his own stamp on it. Practice is probably going to be a little more intense, a little tougher, a little more accountability. And the guy that Jay Gruden is, championing quarterback for so many years, Colt McCoy, goes from starter after just one game immediately to the bench. So Case Keenum now, assuming his foot is okay, he's been in and out of a walking boot. Keenum is expected to be the starter. He was the person who was out there first to start the season. This also means, and Bill Callahan basically said this, that Dwayne Haskins, the first rounder, was not, in fact, a consideration to start. It will be interesting to see if Haskins ends up being active. Is he going to be the backup as he has been recently, or is Colt McCoy going to come in as the backup? Either way, Case Keenum, once again, the starting quarterback for the Redskins.
Yeah, it's the first matchup between winless teams this late in the season since back in 2004. So fun to watch, see how that thing turns out coming up on Sunday. Let's go over to another Florida team that's not the Dolphins. Jalen Ramsey participating in practice today after missing the last 2 games and several practices with a back injury. Are we to take from this that the back is doing a little bit better? Yeah.
We are to take that from this, that yes, of course you saw a specialist in Houston. As we all saw on Instagram, that seems to have come out okay. Returned to Jacksonville on Tuesday, and now he's going to practice today. From what I understand, he's going to go through individual work. It's going to be very limited just to make sure he is okay. But yes, back on the practice field, which means a couple things. First of all, it means Jalen Ramsey, at the least, has a better chance to actually play this week than he did last week. And we know that his trade request still stands, still wants to be traded from the Jaguars. But at the very least, potentially a little thaw in the relationship between Ramsey and the team, because he is able to at least gut out this back injury and try to somehow make it to the practice field. We will, of course, monitor his status throughout the week to see if he plays.
And, I wanted to introduce you to a show. It's a podcast. There's a lot of news podcasts out there, but this podcast it integrates relationships. It's the Rap Sheet and Friends podcast. It's a good one. There's no outsiders. It's exclusively friends. And your dear friend Jadeveon Clowney was talking about the trade. I wanted to give other people a chance to hear what you've already heard.
I thought I was going to be at Houston, and then I like to call and get ready to go in for a training camp like 2 weeks before. Bill O'Brien was like, we were trading you. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to hold off on signing now because I don't know where I'm getting traded to. Because he was like, we don't know what we're going to send you to yet, but we trade you.
Well, trade insight.
That was news to me. I had not heard that. Remember, I reported earlier in training camp that Clowney was basically expected to report after the third preseason game. That was confirmed by several people, including Clowney right there in the Rap Sheet and Friends podcast, which also has Justin Tuck, and it's just a fantastic listen. So basically, as Clowney broke it down, he was going to report. O'Brien told him, hang on, we're probably going to trade you. We don't know where. Clowney did not report. I also asked him about the thought that the notion at the time that he told Miami he did not want to be traded there. He confirmed that. I asked him about Seattle, and he said basically what he told the Texans, what he told his agent, was that he wanted to go someplace that he has a chance to win. He certainly has that in Seattle. Had a lot of insight into what he likes about the culture of the Seahawks as well.
Yeah, so those stories as well as friendship, all on this week's episode of the Rap Sheet and Friends podcast.
Great.
Ian Rappaport with the latest. Thanks, man. The Dallas Cowboys able to amass over 230 yards of total offense in the first half against the Packers, and they got 0 points. There were some bad moments from Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper in that half that highlighted a loss where both had huge numbers. Jason Garrett on his quarterback.
And he's proven to be a very good decision maker over the course of his career. And, if you look at the interceptions from the other day, one was a ball that, came off of Amari. Maybe the location of the ball could have been more in front. Certainly Amari would tell you that I should make that play. He was probably aggressive on the second throw. And then the one at the end, there was a lot of contact on the top of the route. So, sometimes you can kind of put all those things and make a big generalization about something. It's important to go back and look at what happened on each of the plays. He certainly made a lot of little plays for us and a lot of big plays for us in the passing game over the first 5 weeks.
So let's compare Dallas's performance in the first couple of weeks, or the first 3 weeks, with the last couple. The opponents, probably the difference there, as well as some weird turnovers, both fumbles by Jason Witten and Ezekiel Elliott in week 4, and then the interceptions by Dak Prescott and, I guess, Amari Cooper as well in week 5. Let's look at the opponent. The Jets, they're going to love seeing this. They've been able to see this. Sam Darnold in practice. He will actually be able to play this time. He has been cleared. The size of his spleen has reached a tolerable amount where it will be safe for him to play. Adam Gase speaking earlier today on the franchise quarterback.
As far as Sam goes, is he done now with tests, or is this something?
Yeah, he's on it. He's on. Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Is there any concern about, everybody thinks he's going to come in and be the savior of the offense and everything like that, too much being put on him?
I mean, anytime your starting quarterback comes back, it's, guys are going to be excited. So the good thing is, the way he looks at it is he wants to come in and do his job. And I don't think guys are looking at it as, now that he's back, all will be all right. They know that we got a lot to clean up.
So let's get to Florham Park. Our Kim Jones was there to hear from Coach Gase. She is with us. Good afternoon to you, Kim. It feels like the Jets can finally start their season a little bit.
Yeah, it was nice to see Sam back on the practice field, to be honest with you. It'll be great to see him start a game on Sunday. Mononucleosis isn't something we talk about very much on NFL Network in terms of an illness suffered by an NFL player. For Sam, it was a long few weeks. For Adam Gase, it was a bit longer than he had hoped, but he did indicate that after the Eagles game Sunday, he kind of knew that Tuesday was likely to be the day that Sam Darnold would be cleared. He has been cleared. And how big is this for the Jets? Well, Patrick, they have one passing touchdown this season, and you have to go back to week 1 against the Buffalo Bills to find it. That ball was thrown by Sam Darnold. So have they missed Sam Darnold is not even a question we need to ask. The idea that they've gotten him back has made the day of everyone in this building here in Florham Park.
Yeah, Adam Gase this week, I believe it was Monday, just said, yeah, we've been bad on offense. Hopefully Sam can change that. But Kim, how much can we expect him to change? You mentioned the one touchdown pass they do have this season. That was with beginning symptoms of mononucleosis. What can we expect from him as he's still getting over this pretty tough illness?
Well, the only thing I would take exception to, Patrick, I don't think they're putting him out there still getting over the illness. I think conditioning you could talk about, and is he back in the swing of things in terms of being ready to play an NFL game? Will there be rust? I think those are legitimate questions. But I think when you talk about Sam Darnold, he will certainly lift the offense. That's the easy part. I believe he can have a lift on the entire team, both special teams and the defense. And for Sam Darnold, you know, it means a lot to him to be back with his team because he, at a young age, has already taken ownership of this team. So I think that Sam Darnold will tell us eventually this week when he speaks to the media that he feels good, that he's ready to play, and that he's happy to be back. And as I noted, they are very happy to have him.
Yeah, certainly happy to have him back on the field safely. And if he can offer any improvement, it would help keeping them from being the only team since the 1977 Buccaneers to average under 200 yards of total offense. So it's been tough. 200 yards per game offense-wise. So it's been tough for the Jets. We'll see what Sam can do. Kim Jones live there in Florham Park. Thanks, Kim. As the 100th season continues here on Thursday Night Football coming up tomorrow, we will bring you some more incredible stories of the events and people that shaped the NFL over the past 100 years. Here's Rich Eisen with another installment of the NFL 100 Minute.
Watch this. Jim Burt takes the whole bucket and pours it on Bill Parcells' head. That's what you get when you win.
In October of 1984, the Giants beat their division rivals, the Redskins, for the first time in 7 games. To celebrate the win, nose tackle Jim Burt doused head coach Bill Parcells with the first ever Gatorade bath. A month later, after the Bears clinched their first division title in 21 years, it was Mike Ditka's turn, and a tradition was born. Plenty of Gatorade baths followed. In fact, the '86 Giants were so superstitious, they got to head coach Bill Parcells after each of their 17 wins that season on the way to a Super Bowl title and a top secret mission.
Carson is in the security uniform now, and there it comes.
These days, no Super Bowl is complete without a Gatorade celebration. It's become the crowning moment of victory.
And there it is. The dynasty continues.
The Colts have only given up 1 touchdown pass to Patrick Mahomes in their last 2 meetings. We've got a Hall of Famer coming down to break down why.